I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I truly like to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener.
Now, there's not a lot of people that haven't seen that truck or haven't heard that jingle. And for many of us, it's really hard to hold back a smile when you see the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. And regardless of how normal it is for us to see that enormous wiener driving down the road, none of us really do stop to think about how that became such a staple in American history. So come on, ask me the question I know you're dying to ask.
Ask me about my wiener!
Today, let's learn a little bit about where we got the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. So Oscar Mayer was a German immigrant who immigrated to the US and settled in Chicago in 1873. He started his first butcher shop in Chicago, Illinois in 1883. And by 1909, he had expanded his facility to the point where it was actually supplying the entire Chicago area. Now, Oscar Mayer, unlike other people within the meat industry, was doing something that other people were not, and that was heavy marketing. He paid for a great deal of advertising, and one place that he really excelled was at the local baseball field, where he not only put his name around the baseball field, but his German-style sausages were a huge hit among fans.
Have you seen my wiener?
Now, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile came around 1936 and was the brainchild of Carl Mayer, Oscar Mayer's nephew. Carl had the idea of commissioning a 13-foot hot dog on an automotive chassis in order to transport the spokesman of the company to different events as a way to advertise the company. Could you just imagine being there at the board meeting with a straight face while Carl is sitting there trying to pitch a 13-foot wiener mobile to his boss as the best idea ever to advertise your company? Classic. General Body Company was commissioned to actually build the very first Wienermobile. God damn! General Body Company of Chicago was put in charge of designing the very first Wienermobile, and it was a 13-foot, as I said, steel wiener on a Dodge chassis with a cockpit in the center, that could fit one person, and they would drive it around town, advertising the company. And it was a huge success, obviously, because we still have Wienermobiles today. But whatever happened to the original 1936 Wienermobile? Sadly, the car was actually donated in the 1940s to the scrap drives for World War II. And the car was cut up for Vienna sausages for the war effort. Kidding, but they did actually turn it into scrap metal for the war effort, but they made a brand new one just after the war.